Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is NTTV Nightly News.
Latest on developing stories in the U.S.-Iran conflict. Multiple storms disrupting travel across the country.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on NTTV Nightly News. I'm Katie Muncie.
And I'm Zaria Holloman. Implementing a new look to late-night transportation in order to make it easier and safer is NTTV's Haley Stum, live on campus with more. Haley?
Announced this morning that their nightly shuttle service night flight would no longer operate on an on-demand basis, but rather on a continuous route. Previously, riders would use this app in order to request a lift, but now they'll use it to track the shuttle in real time based on these new stops. The UNT campus shuttle system will now offer 16 different bus routes to the community. Starting on the east side of the new night flight route, riders can be picked up from 7 stops spanning from Victory to Hickory Hall. Moving to the west side, there are 4 stops riders can use, with the first stop on the route being at Eagle Landing. In total, riders can choose from 11 stops on this route. The night flight shuttles will operate from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. on school nights and from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. on weekends. Reporting from UNT campus, I'm Haley Stum, NTTV News.
Thanks, Haley. Katie, could you imagine waiting for a train in this cold?
Zaria, I didn't even want to leave my car this morning. It is way too cold outside. But our weather anchor, Ian Cropper, can tell us whether or not we can expect some warmer temperatures. Ian?
Thanks, guys. Now, it was cold this weekend. In fact, last night, some parts of the region were advised to drip faucets because they were at risk of freezing weather. But fortunately, that is going to change. For the time being, our current temperature is 47, feels like of 31, and we do have a rather strong north-northwestern wind of 13 miles per hour. Fortunately, going to tonight, that wind is going to die down, going to only 3 miles per hour to the southeast. Our temperature will drop a bit, though, 36 degrees. The actual temperature, 33 feels like, but look at tomorrow, and you'll notice a major difference. Almost 30 degrees higher for St. Patrick's Day. 64 actual temperature, 62 feels like. The one downside is that the wind will pick back up, going 19 miles per hour to the south. To see if this pattern holds, I'll be back later in the show. For now, back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Ian. It is now week 3 of the conflict with Iran, and the impact is spreading worldwide. Israeli attacks targeted Tehran, the capital city of Iran. The Israeli military says it targeted more than 200 sites in the past 24 hours. The Iranian Red Crescent Society combed through the damages, accusing the Israelis of targeting the city's major airport. Meanwhile, the conflict is disrupting the worldwide economy as shipping remains virtually stalled throughout the Strait of Hormuz. Over the weekend, President Trump's call for other countries to help reopen the shipping routes got mixed reactions. Today, the president said the United States would do it alone.
We don't need anybody. We're the strongest nation in the world. We have the strongest military by far in the world. We don't need them. But it's interesting. I'm almost doing it in some cases, not because we need them, but because I want to find out how they react. Because I've been saying for years that if we ever did need them, they won't be there. Not all of them, but...
As much as 1/3 of the world's energy supplies passes through the Strait of Hormuz. The conflict is blamed for the spike in oil prices. Crude oil approached $100 a barrel last week, up from near $70 before the conflict began.
But spiking oil and natural gas prices affect more than just your drive to school or work. They hit the entire economy, all the way to the grocery store. Michael Yoshida explains.
If we miss that window, we could have catastrophic crop failure.
Alarm bells sounding over disrupted shipping through the Strait of Hormuz and the potential impact to American farmers.
Worst case scenario, a grower may not be able to get a crop in the ground. And of course, that's going to lead to food security conversations.
The waterway is critical for transporting supplies needed to make fertilizers, as well as the finished products, including about half the world's supply of urea, a nitrogen fertilizer for crops like corn. Also, about a third of global exports of ammonia, key for most nitrogen fertilizers, and sulfur, another vital nutrient for crops. Shipments that have essentially stopped since the war.
With the closure of that strait, it's lifted prices here in the United States by several $100s per ton. So that immediately squeezes farmers' bottom line.
I've not seen this level of disruption before. Urea prices are up 50% since that Friday before.
According to the Fertilizer Institute, the U.S. imports about 35% of its fertilizer needs every year, with supplies often arriving just in time for use.
I'm told we still need to import about 25% of our need for March, April, May application.
Now, spiked costs and already low crop prices could lead to tough decisions.
We'll have to adapt either to plant a different crop that is uses less fertilizer, or potentially reduce the amount of fertilizer that they use, which could have an impact on crop yields and ultimately prices.
In Washington, Michael Yoshida.
Those prices at the pump are having an impact everywhere, and North Texas is feeling the pinch.
That's right, Katie. Those spring break road trips definitely broke the bank for some of us. Our live shot reporter Alexandria Tetters is live with more.
Ladies, you might have noticed you've been checking your gas tank more often than usual. That's because of the rising cost of imported oil, which rapidly affects American gas prices. In Denton County, the average price per gallon is $3.40. Last week, it was $2.74. Diesel is also affected by the import issues, spiking from $3.24 to $4.94 in Texas. Filling up your gas tank is going to get even more expensive, but there are still some ways to save a little bit of money. GasBuddy and AAA are both great online options to save a little bit of money by finding cheaper gas near you. Texas prices are still lower than the national average, which is sitting at $3.70. However, some cities like El Paso are experiencing higher prices than North Texas. Gas prices are expected to steadily increase during the conflict with Iran, so carpooling and public transportation are great ideas during this time. That's all I have for you tonight. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Alexandria. Well, we are all trying to save a few pennies at the pump these days. But one man in Atlanta has decided, well, saving cash is more important than a cool ride. If this looks like something your little sister would drive around the backyard, you're right. The driver converted a pink child's go-kart into a hot street rod by tricking it out with a power washer engine. He can fill it up for about $2 and ride around all day. Now, to be honest, there is not much room in this little hot rod for anything except the driver, so no grocery shopping or joyriding with friends. But you have to admit, it gets you where you want to go, very in style.
Okay, I want one. Like, what a way to get around campus.
True, but not so much with the weather outside.
Good point. Hazardous weather and travel delays continue to plague spring break plans for millions around the nation, so stay tuned.
Jibber jabber. Yes, jibber jabber.
Jibber Jabber is a man-on-the-street NTTV show for Instagram that's in its 7th season. With 2 hosts, 1 comfy chair, and a Would You Do Something bowl.
Pretty much the gist of our show is that we're going to be inviting UNT students, all of our lovely family over, and we're going to be talking to them. And when we run out of things to say, we're going to ask them,
would you do something?
I think we're ready to do something.
Yeah.
Fortnite son or Minecraft daughter?
Don't get your hopes up.
Is that it?
That's it.
Nothing can stop me now!
Yeah.
I warned them that this was dangerous, but did they listen? No!
I've been having these dreams.
Welcome in.
This is part of the process, Eric. I only want what is best for you.
You want me to go on and on with the program until there's nothing left of me.
We are one now. Our goals are the same.
No, they're not.
Property Brothers have won!
From severe thunderstorms and tornadoes to blizzards, a giant weather system is paralyzing huge parts of the nation. 250 million Americans are impacted by this massive storm. Lee Waldman reports.
The East Coast is bracing itself against a powerful storm that barreled through the central U.S. this weekend. The mid-Atlantic facing a historic threat from northern South Carolina to the Pennsylvania-Maryland border, staring down a 60% chance of damaging winds from severe thunderstorms. Meanwhile, in the south, weather whiplash. Snowflakes are expected in places like Tennessee, Alabama, and northern Georgia just hours after strong to severe storms ripped through with damaging winds. Jackson, Mississippi saw snowflakes and sleet pellets early Monday. The weather pushed Atlanta public schools to switch to a remote learning day. Air travel turning into a nightmare during spring break with a combination of weather impacts and a TSA worker shortage amidst an ongoing partial government shutdown. Some traveling out of Chicago forced to change their plans.
We're just trying to make sure we can get out, and so last night our flight canceled, and so we're here till like midnight, and so now we're back again today.
Several places in Michigan and Wisconsin received more than 30 inches of snow since a blizzard began hammering the region this weekend.
It's terrible. I would absolutely not be out driving if I didn't have to be. If you don't have a 4x4, I wouldn't leave at all.
At least one person died in a crash in Minnesota. Hundreds of vehicles went off the roads, and dozens were hurt in crashes, according to the state police there. I'm Lee Waldman reporting.
Last weekend, deadly tornadoes tore through the Midwest and the Plains. Teams were deployed to the devastated areas to help out survivors, but while they were searching for survivors, the teams were missing a tornado tracking tool. It meant the first responders didn't have a precise picture of where to focus their search. The tool is typically provided by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, but the contract for the crucial equipment had expired, and the former head of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, never renewed it. Billions of dollars in contracts and grants are stalled at the agency. Noem was fired by President Trump last week, but no movement yet on any of the contracts and grants.
You know, Zaria, lately I just don't know what to expect when I go outside.
I completely understand. Like today, the sun is shining, but we're actually under 50 degrees right now.
Right. Well, let's see what our weather anchor Ian Cropper sees for the rest of the week, because at this point, the suspense is killing me.
Thanks, guys. Now, what you'll notice when looking across the DFW region is remarkable consistency with the temperatures. From Graham and Fort Worth at our highs of 48 to our low all the way over in Paris at 44, there's a variance of only 4 degrees. And you do notice that you see a lot of 45s, 46s, 47s across the region, including 47 in Denton and Dallas. Zooming out to the state, you do see a bit more variance. You'd see a low of 43 up north in Oklahoma City, while you do get to the low 50s in Austin and Houston to the south. But you can tell warmer weather is coming because all the way over in the west, we get our high by a long shot of 63 in El Paso. You do notice we're getting warmer weather, and you'll see that when looking at the 7-day forecast. And not only are we going to get hot, we're going to stay hot with nice and sunny weather until we get a few clouds next Monday. You'll also notice no rain, so this entire week is going to be nice for doing outdoor activities, excuse me. Now, you will notice that it does get a little too hot on Friday and Saturday when we get highs in the 90s. But other than that, great weather all week, no rain chances. Going to be a little colder on Tuesday and Wednesday before warming up nicely as we go into the weekend. And that's all I have for weather. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Ian. While local airports are experiencing delays due to high winds, Chicago airports are also canceling flights as well. Chicago is facing bad weather over the weekend with lots of snow and high winds. Over 515 flights were canceled due to TSA shortages. Security lines have gotten longer as the storm got worse over the weekend. Temperatures are expected to reach a high in the 20s with wind chills dropping to single digits. But in Austin, it was a different story. The crush of spring break travel ran headfirst into national staffing challenges at the TSA checkpoints. Lines stretched out of buildings this morning as spring break travelers tried to make early morning flights. The airport predicted 32,000 travelers, not a record, but busier than normal for a Monday morning. The travelers were told at the airport 2.5 hours before their flights. By mid-morning, wait times were closer to normal.
Texas Senator John Cornyn delivered Whataburgers to TSA workers at Austin's airport today. The TSA workers missed their first full paycheck on a Friday as a result of the budget standoff, just as spring break travel got underway.
And what we did today is just offer them a token of our appreciation by delivering some Whataburgers to them. It seems like such a modest thing to do.
He called on Democratic senators to stop blocking funding for the Department of Homeland Security over their objections to ICE funding. Cornyn faces Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton in a runoff election later this year. The winner will face Democratic nominee James Tallarico in the November general election. No Whataburger menus on here at UNT, but there is a lot of campus politics. The Student Government Association is kicking off its spring elections this week. Today's kickoff event was canceled due to cold weather, but candidate meet and greet sessions are still on beginning Wednesday with candidates for president and vice president. That meet and greet session will take place Wednesday from noon to 2 p.m. and Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. All sessions are indoors on the third floor of the Student Union.
Up next, we'll tell you how to keep your diet full of protein.
And if you missed out on the Oscars last night, we have the recap, all after the break.
Welcome back to Late Night at North Texas. Late Night at North Texas. Late Night at North Texas.
Color the world with peace and joy.
Tell me, Diva, what's the tea?
My Nisha drag is dumb.
The spirits have guided you to me.
Evil lies here.
Go, 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 go.
Get that, get that. Be gone, evil spirit.
Hola, Ardilleros! We're NTTV's longest running Spanish entertainment show, and we're all about culture, creativity, and community in Spanish. Vámonos.
Most of us think that we're hitting our protein goals.
But new nutritional research suggests that we're not doing it correctly. Our health reporter Naomi Ojamo is here to help us understand.
Thanks. Protein is a key part of a healthy diet, helping the body build muscle and repair itself from within. But dietitians say many people may not be getting enough protein throughout the day. Mandy Gaither explains why including protein every meal can help.
It should be on every plate.
Protein is a critical building block for your body, but it needs to be part of every meal.
Spreading out your protein intake leads to the best outcome when it comes to muscle building and sustaining muscle and utilizing that protein.
Julia Zumpano with Cleveland Clinic says your daily protein quota shouldn't be filled in one sitting. Instead, she says to work it into snacks and meals throughout the day, and there are simple ways to do that.
First of all, you want to plan ahead. So the key to optimizing nutrition is planning.
That starts at the grocery store. Zumpano says think about quick and easy protein options for each meal. For breakfast, that could include Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, low-fat cheeses, milk, eggs, sausage, turkey bacon, or Canadian bacon.
Protein shakes are great for snacks or even as a meal replacement.
For lunch and dinner, consider chicken, turkey, fish, lean red meat, or plant-based proteins like lentils, dried beans, peas, nuts, and seeds.
I can't emphasize enough having a large variety of protein sources is really key, and I can't emphasize enough as having them available to you, readily available, so you're able to easily meet your needs.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Experts warn us that relying on just one type of protein like red meat may increase risk of health issues such as high cholesterol or heart disease. In NTG News, I'm Naomi Ojamo. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Naomi. One movie after another. The big night for all film lovers happened last night. In case you missed it, there were so many new and remarkable moments to remember. A new category introduced Best Casting, which was won for the film One Battle After Another, along with 5 more. A tie for the short film category and the most talked about film, Sinners, taking home 4 Oscars. Let's take a look.
Michael B. Jordan. A heavenly night for Sinners as Michael B. Jordan won the Academy Award for Best Actor.
And everybody at home who supported Sinners, who went to go see the movie once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times, thank you. Because you guys made this movie what it is. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Ryan Coogler was recognized for the film's original screenplay, and Autumn Durald Arkapaw became the first woman to win an Oscar for cinematography.
Whenever I say thank you to Ryan, he replies and says, "No, thank you. Thank you for believing in me, and thank you for trusting me." And that's the kind of guy that I get to make films with.
Somebody take me. The 98th Oscars included music from Sinners, which won for Best Score, and K-pop Demon Hunters, winner for Best Song and Best Animated Feature.
And for those of you who look like me, I'm so sorry that it took us so long to see us in a movie like this. But it is here.
This is great.
Amy Madigan was delighted to accept the Best Supporting Actress trophy for Weapons.
This is really something.
As was Jessie Buckley, named Best Actress for Hamnet.
Mom, Dad, thank you for teaching us to dream and to never be defined by expectation, but to carve from your own passion.
Sean Penn was not there to accept Best Supporting Actor for One Battle After Another, but the film's casting director, Cassandra Koulakounis, gleefully accepted the first ever Academy Award for casting.
And for the casting directors that fought tirelessly to make it happen, despite everything in their way, I dedicate this to you and to the casting directors who never got a chance to get up here. One battle after another, Paul Thomas Anderson.
Paul Thomas Anderson was up there plenty. The One Battle After Another filmmaker won his first 3 Oscars: Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Director, and Best Picture of the Year.
What a night. You guys, let's have a martini. This is pretty amazing. Cheers. Thank you very much. Thank you.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
I was rooting for Michael B. Jordan, and I'm glad he won. Well deserved. Seems to me this year's Hollywood stars swept up all the awards on the red carpet this weekend.
That is true, Katie. Although for others, they might say nothing but net. I don't know. But the person who would know that lingo best would be our sports anchor, Beth Spicer. So let's see what she saw that got left on the court. Beth?
Guys, women's basketball goes without a bid. UNT softball makes history in the World Baseball Classic. All that and more coming up after the break.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
She was the oldest woman to ever medal in the slalom run. So I think that's, she's now the youngest. Yes, the youngest and the oldest.
Prominent women's sports is right now, especially when women's hockey is one of the biggest growing sports in the world right now.
If somebody told you, kind of coming back to the past and telling your past self that this team would be one win away from making the college football playoff, how would you react knowing that you've covered this team for so long?
Let's talk a little bit about the strengths of this UNT basketball team. Like, what are we good at? When it comes to UNT, we've always been a slower pace team, and that has continued into the Daniel Robinson era.
And welcome to a very special edition of Prove It or Lose It. Matthew.
Can I have Silverstone? It's the only name that looks familiar.
UNT women's basketball made history and broke records this season. Despite the outstanding performance, the Mean Green did not get into the WBIT or WNIT tournaments. The team had a heartbreaking loss of 67-71 to Rice in the semifinal of the American Conference basketball tournament on Friday, ending their run in the tournament. Going without a bid for any of the tournaments is very surprising considering the Mean Green season record of 19-14. Not the most amazing record, but normally good enough to get a tournament bid. Though UNT softball opened conference play with a record of 6-0 for the first time in program history with the sweeping of Tulsa. The Mean Green beat the Golden Hurricanes 9-1 in 6 innings here at Lovelace yesterday afternoon. In her 6th complete game, Annika Anderson allowed only 4 hits and 3 walks against her former team. The game ended after Riley McNamer's walk-off RBI single. You can catch the Mean Green's next game on Friday at UTSA. After the Mean Green made history, the United States baseball team punched their ticket to their 3rd straight World Baseball Classic final. The U.S. beat the Dominican Republic 2-1 last night, despite the Dominicans having the most runs in the tournament. This was the Dominicans' first time reaching the semis since they won the title in 2013. The U.S. will face the winner of Italy versus Venezuela's game tomorrow in the title game. That's all I have for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Beth. Thank you for watching NTTV Nightly News.
Join us again tomorrow at noon and tomorrow evening at 6 here on North Texas Television.